Hey friends, it's Laurie. Today I'm making a DIY bird bath. Once I hung it outside, I had a whole bunch of feathered visitors, and if you don't want to make it into a bird bath, you can always use it as a bird feeder. To get started, for the base of my bird bath, I'm using one of the 14-inch wreath forms from the Dollar Tree. To hang it, I'm using a plant hanger from the Dollar Tree, and it measures 20 inches in length. This includes the hanger and the clips. To surround the bird bath and to add my flowers, I'm going to be recycling an old grapevine wreath. It measures 14 inches and it'll sit perfectly inside the Dollar Tree wire wreath form. And all I'm doing here, because I'm going to recycle it, I'm just removing all these little buds and berries that were on it originally. This next step, it's completely optional. You can leave the form and the chain black, but I have this pretty seafoam green paint, so I'm going to give both of them a complete coat. Once both of the pieces have dried, I'm going to be turning the form over and I'm working on the reverse side. I'm then placing my 14-inch grapevine wreath into the center of the form. Now that I have it in place, I'm using some floral wire to attach both pieces together. On the form, there are 6 supports, so I'm taking a piece of floral wire, and at one of the supports, I'm wrapping it around the form and the wreath, and then twisting them both together in the center. After I complete the first one, I'm then working my way around the wreath, and at each support, I'm adding a piece of floral wire. Once I'm done, I'm then using my clippers, and I'm clipping off the extra wire and just folding the ends over. And once you finish, you'll have your 2 pieces attached together. For the bath part of my project, I'm using a 10-inch terracotta saucer that I picked up at Walmart, but you can also use a plate from the Dollar Tree. As long as the bath will sit centered and level, you can use pretty much anything that you have on hand. My inspiration flower for this project are these pretty hydrangeas that I found at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint the bottom of my saucer, and this is completely optional, so that it matches the flowers, and I'm using this pretty periwinkle acrylic paint. I'm leaving the top edge of the saucer as is, and I'm just giving everything under it a coat of paint. I wanted to share with you that I also made a glass bead bird bath with mostly Dollar Tree supplies as a gift for a friend, and I'll link that video below in case you'd like to check that out. With it now completely dry, I'm going to give it an extra coat of protection using some of my gloss Mod Podge. I have my saucer turned upside down, and I'm just giving it a complete coat. I know the birds are going to be landing on all different areas of the bath, but I wanted to give them a few extra places, so I'm using 6 wooden ends of my old Dollar Tree foam brushes. Once they've pretty much had it, I just removed the foam end, and if you don't have any of these on hand, you can always cut up a dowel or use some of the Dollar Tree skewers. After making sure that acrylic paint was safe for birds, I'm using some of this brown Dollar Tree acrylic paint, and I'm giving each of my handles a good coat. Once they're dry, I'm not going to use any protective finish on them. I'm just going to leave them painted. Now that they're all dry, I'm going to give my birds 6 places to perch by using my glue gun and some E6000. To keep them evenly spaced, I'm once again going to use the form supports, and I'm placing on some hot glue to help hold them in place, and then I'm using some E6000 to set them up permanently. While I'm attaching the perch, I'm making sure that I leave enough space so that my basin will fit in comfortably. And if you're not sure of the spacing, you can always just leave the basin in as you're adding them. By using each of the supports as my guide, it's giving me even spacing as I work around the form. Adding on these extra places to perch, yeah, completely optional, and if you're making this for yourself, you can customize it any way you'd like. For the flower accent on my bird bath, I'm using these pretty blue hydrangeas from the Dollar Tree, and I'm also using some of their lavender. Getting them ready to attach, I'm removing all the heads from the stems, and I'm also removing the leaves from the lavender bunch. Now that I have them all detached from their stems, they're ready to become an accent on my bird bath. I'm once again using my glue gun, and I'm placing 2 bunches of hydrangea, some lavender, and some leaves in each of the 6 sections on my wreath. I just added some hot glue, and then I pushed the stems in between the branches of the grapevine. I'm using hydrangeas for my bird bath because they are truly one of my favorite flowers. I have a bunch of hydrangea bushes around my home. I have the white and the pink and the blue and the purple, and I just think they're beautiful. But as I was working on this project, I thought, I bet sunflowers would look really pretty too. So I think what I'm going to do is head on over to the Dollar Tree and pick myself up a bunch of sunflowers and follow the exact same instructions and make myself a matching bird feeder that will go perfect right alongside my bird bath. I was thinking, I gave the last bird bath I made away as a gift, and if you know someone who loves flowers, this would make a perfect gift for them too. I just continued adding my flowers and my leaves until all 6 sections on the form were complete. Now that I'm done, I just need to add in the water basin, and it's super easy. Just like earlier, I place it in the center and make sure that it's level. To add the hanger, I'm using the Dollar Tree chain that I had sprayed green. It comes with 3 clips on the end of the 3 chains, and once again, I'm using the supports on the wreath form as my guide. To make sure that it hangs level, there are 6 supports, so I'm attaching a clip next to every other support. This way it evenly spaces each of the 3 chains, so when you hang it, it will be level. Now that I have my hanger in place, all that's left to do is head outside and add in some water. I hung my bird bath on a shepherd's hook, and I added a small flat rock into the center. And because small birds can get nervous if the water's too deep, I added just about an inch. I placed my bird bath near my bird feeders, and then I just waited for my little feathered friends to show up and get a drink or take a bath. And with that, my hydrangea bird bath is complete. I hope you enjoyed making this bird bath with me, and if you did, please be sure to check out my glass bead bird bath. I'll have that linked below in my description, along with some natural bird feeders that I made in past videos. If you're new, I really hope you hit that red subscribe button below so we can hang out again, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye, everybody!